Get 3 months of local news for just 99 cents a month. You'll get unlimited access to the news you need to stay engaged and connected to your community. Visit duluthnewstribune.com/subscribe now to get 3 months of local news for only 99 cents a month.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Thursday, February 2nd. I'm Dan Williamson with your Duluth News Tribune Minutes, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union's services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. A year has passed since a contractor inadvertently drove a piece of steel piling into one of the city's major natural gas supply lines while working on the Can of Worms interchange. The timing could hardly have been worse. With sub-zero temperatures descending, the city asked residents of its lakeside and woodland neighborhoods to dial down their thermostats to 62 degrees. The following afternoon, the heat restrictions were expanded to include all natural gas customers east of Lake Avenue. It would take yet another couple days to return the line to service. Meanwhile, air temps dipped to 13 degrees below zero, with wind chills falling well beneath 20 below. Crews made a temporary repair that held through the winter, but knew that they would need to return to make a permanent fix once the ground thawed. The final repair was completed in late May. Noah Schuckman, the city's chief administrative officer, estimated that the city incurred about $40,000 to $50,000 in total expenses related to the incidents. Those costs were borne by Comfort Systems, Duluth's city-owned local water and gas utility. It had no effect on natural gas rates, Schuckman said. He said the incident has made the city hyper-aware of the importance of maintaining a supply of repair parts for unexpected events. The Minnesota Supreme Court on Wednesday declined to reopen the case of a man convicted 2 decades ago of masterminding a robbery-turned-murder in Duluth's Central Hillside neighborhood. The state's high court affirmed a ruling that denied an evidentiary hearing to Tyrone James White, who was found guilty of 2 counts of aiding and abetting first-degree murder and 1 count of aiding and abetting attempted first-degree murder in the shooting death of Milton P. Williams, age 26, and critical wounding of Tammy M. Carlson. Authorities said White, then 27, instigated, organized, and directed what was planned to be a robbery of drugs and money from a fellow drug dealer at 1121 East 2nd Street on April 24, 2001. White alleged in his petition, filed in state district court in January of 2022, that the foreperson on his jury was biased because she failed to disclose that she worked at the same casino as a potential trial witness, who ultimately did not testify. He additionally claimed his legal counsel was ineffective for failing to seek dismissal of the juror. But Chief Justice Lori Gilday ruled that his claims were barred by a 2-year time limit for seeking post-conviction proceedings and failed to provide new evidence of an injustice warranting an exception. White, now 48, is serving a life sentence plus 15 years. He will be nearly 70 before he sees any possibility of supervised release. Gary Anderson announced Wednesday afternoon that he will not seek re-election to his Duluth City Council seat, representing several of the city's eastern neighborhoods, including Hunters Park, Morley Heights, Woodlands, Lakeside, and Lester Park. Anderson was first elected in 2015 and won a second term in 2019. He cut his teeth in politics by successfully campaigning for Minnesotans United for All Families in 2012. A group that ushered in the right to same-sex marriage in Minnesota. During his tenure, Anderson has served as council president and chair of the Personnel Committee, as well as the Public Safety Committee, most recently where he championed the drive to create and fund a community crisis response team, tasked with providing emergency support to people dealing with mental health and substance abuse challenges. Joining us now over Zoom is one of my colleagues, Duluth News Tribune features reporter Melinda Levine. Melinda, you have a story you're working on that we can see in Saturday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune and prior online at duluthnewstribune.com. It focuses on a local guitarist and music educator that pivoted during the pandemic. What else can you tell us?
Yes, Darren Bergsman. He is a local guitarist. You may have seen him in the Maxie Childs Trio. He's also a guitar player with the Owls Club Big Band, and he regularly plays solo around the area as well. He launched Coffee and Guitar, a weekly show where he performs music, and also he invites folks from around the region, other guitarists, to come and play. And it's really kind of cool. They give him a set, he learns the music, and then he accompanies them for this hour-long show that's live streaming out of his living room every week.
What was your biggest takeaway from this story?
My biggest takeaway was just kind of being mind blown at the catalog of music that musicians have in their minds and at their fingertips, and how they can access it just like at the drop of a hat. It was really just amazing to see the skill level that Darren and his guests have.
What do you hope our audience takes away from this story?
I hope our audience can take away the coziness and the intimacy of this weekly performance that a local guitar player is putting out there online. Being in his studio that's like right offset from his living room, it just felt so sunny and cozy and warm. You're drinking coffee with him, like he's interviewing his guests like in between songs, and you can just tell that the love of music and the love of community really runs deep in this project.
Again, you can find this story in Saturday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune and online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. Melinda, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, now here's your forecast brought to you by the News Tribune's 20 Under 40 Awards.
Good Thursday, Duluth. Lots of sunshine today. Temperatures falling throughout the daytime hours, though, from a morning high of 6 degrees down to close to 5 below by the afternoon. All of this driven by a strong northwesterly wind, about 10 to 20 miles an hour. That's going to keep wind chills in the negative numbers throughout the daytime hours. Temperatures continue to get colder overnight, down into the 20s below zero to start off your Friday. And that is when we're going to have wind chill warnings in effect. Eventually, this cold spell will come to an end, though, up to 1 by Friday afternoon with more clouds and 20s by the weekend. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jesse Ritka.
Thank you to the 20 Under 40 Awards for their support. Now is your chance to nominate someone younger than 40 who's making a positive impact in our Northlands. Nominations are open through February 28th. Submit yours at duluthnewstribune.com/20 under 40. Reporting for today's episode was done by Peter Passy and Tom Olson. Thank you for listening to the Duluth News Tribune Minutes. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.